forward to this. All right, so welcome to our mindful art and meditation event for gentle self-reflection. And today is Sunday, the 28th of April. I can't believe how the year has gone. And I just want to go ahead and welcome all of you. And I'm going to go and pin my notes to the top here, or to the, there we go. These are my slides. And I'm checking how this whole phone situation works with the demonstration and the slides and all of that. So thank you so much for bearing with me today. So go ahead and get comfortable. This is a time when you can gather your supplies. And by way of supplies, I mean whatever you have that's on hand. Could be note cards. You may have a journal, like an art journal, or just a piece of copy paper is good. You know, you may want to get things to make you comfortable, set the temperature in the room so it's comfortable. I have a cup of tea here. Take a sip before it gets cold. And then if you have, like with your paper, I jumped around here, but any kind of markers that you have, or pens or pencils, just gather those. And then housekeeping wise, I'm going to keep you muted until the end, when we can have some time to share our insights and our self-reflections. So let me make sure. Okay, wait a minute. Here's our purpose. So the purpose of these events is to cultivate mindfulness and presence. And by presence, I mean the art of being present in the moment, the art of being aware of the present moment. So we're cultivating mindfulness and presence through the simple practices of art, or actually for our time together, this is really going to be simple mark making. And I want to go back and talk a little bit about art and mark making in a moment. But so we're working on cultivating mindfulness and presence through the simple practices of art and mark making, breath relaxation, and gentle contemplation or self-reflection. My personal purpose for offering these sessions, these group sessions, is for me to hone the skill of simplicity. And I am going to keep my presentations as simple as possible, so that we really have time as individuals and as a group to relax and unfold in the present moment, without a lot of clutter of what do I do? How do I do it? Am I doing it right? I mean, that kind of stuff comes up, especially when we're talking about art, right? So art is, people think of art as the stuff that's really beautiful, that's sold in galleries. And in the mindful art world, art is really more about touching the art that you are inside through the simplicity of attention, gentleness, self-acceptance, and the use of mark making sometimes intuitive marks, sometimes intentional marks, that can turn out to be very, very beautiful, or not. And it's the art of really accepting whatever comes out, and working with that as a way to become more aware of what's going on inside, how that's affecting you, and what your inner voice is, how your inner voice is trying to guide you. So if there are any perfectionists in the room, please check your perfectionism at the door. I know that I know that's easier said than done. Bring your perfectionism in because it's not going to stay out there at the door. And we'll pay attention to that as well if it comes up. And I was about to use my mouse here to click to the next slide, but I have them over here under my camera. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, so our theme today is focus. And uh, I sit and meditate and contemplate and do my own art making and mark making almost every morning, usually every morning, at least several times a week. And this theme of focus came up. And as I was contemplating what that means, what we can get out of having this as kind of the energy for our container today, or the focus, literal focus of our container today, I came across just a little passage in John Kabat-Zinn's book, Mindfulness for Beginners. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a book on mindfulness. John Kabat-Zinn is the creator of the mindfulness-based stress reduction program, if you've heard of that. Very, very helpful, systematic way of cultivating mindfulness in your life, mindfulness meditation in your life. So, this passage that I turned to says, "The objects of attention are not as important as attending itself." And that's kind of that's when I look at the word focus, or when I tune into the word focus, I tune into that the theme of attention. Where is your attention going? So the objects of attention are not as important as attending itself. So we're going to hold this theme of focus and attention kind of loosely. And I'm going to read a little bit more into this just to kind of set the tone and build the outer part of our container for focus. Since mindfulness is about the cultivation of moment to moment awareness through careful, systematic, and disciplined attending, it can seem at first as if what we are paying attention to, that is, the various possible objects of intention, is what is most important. These objects of attention can be anything within the realm of our experience. And today it's going to be our mark making and uh, our exploration on the paper. What we are seeing or hearing or smelling or tasting or touching or feeling or knowing in any given moment. So the objects of attention can be anything within the realm of our experience, what we are seeing or hearing or smelling or tasting or touching or feeling or knowing in any given moment. This is in part because from the very beginning of a meditation practice, we do have to focus on something to pay attention to, whether it is the feeling of the breath moving in and out of our body, or sounds coming to our ears, or anything else we can perceive or apprehend in the present moment. Later on, we may come to realize that we can focus on awareness itself and become aware of awareness without choosing any particular object to focus on. We will explore this. There's an accompanying CD. So, what we're doing today is the first part of that, where we're using our mark making. We're using our this exercise that I'll guide you through as the point of attention, and the theme of our exercise is focus. So that's what we're contemplating, and we're using our senses to do that. So let me turn to the next slide. This is how our sequence will go. We're going to call in our sacred circle, And there are some people who have signed up for this who aren't here live, but they are part of our sacred circle, and anyone who partakes in this is also part of our sacred circle, as we create this container. Some things I want to highlight as part of this circle is when we engage with one another in dialogue, we engage respectfully. And I do ask that when we get to the end of sharing, if you do not give like your interpretation, like this isn't art interpretation or anything like that, unless someone asks for feedback. I would encourage you to just give your responses in a way where you're acknowledging, if you have a responses in a way where you're acknowledging of what the other person is doing without having to give advice or anything like that. Also, it, at the end, we will be sharing, and if there is, I want to just remind everyone that the sharing part is going to be very private. So please do not take anything out that was said into this group. And if you happen to run across someone either online or whatever that's in this group and they have shared something, I really want to encourage you not to bring that up in public, and especially if it was a really vulnerable share. Um, and if you want more to discuss it more, please do that in private, asking for that person's permission to talk about it. And then the third aspect of our circle that keeps our circle in integrity is intention. So our intention to be here fully, to not be scrolling on the computer, on our phones or whatever, and our intention to bring our full attention to this process. And therein lies the meditative part of this, the mindfulness part of this that John Kabat-Zinn referred to. So as we call in our circle, part of the components that create integrity for our circle are respect, privacy, and intention. Um, so after we do that, I'm going to quickly demo. I'm actually probably just going to give you directions because you're not you're not going to follow my technique, okay? You're going to do your thing, right? There's just one starting point, and I'm going to do my own as you're doing yours, and as I go I'll have little points of guidance and suggestions for how maybe you can modify your marks or change what you're doing to get a different experience. So, I'll give you the verbal directions. I'll give you a little bit of an overview of a demo of how we're going to do it, but really, you're going to call through what's coming through you on the paper, and I'll guide you as we go in the moment. And then we'll do the exercise, the mindful art exercise. And then we'll take a little time for reflection. And this is where you may want to have a second piece of paper or the back of the first piece of paper, the back of the card. And this is where I'll give you a couple of potential journaling prompts that you can make some notes around. And we'll have a little bit of time to do that. And then we'll come back in and share what we came up with. So before we go on, any questions? All right. I keep reaching for my mouse to move the slides. All right, so, oh, that's the wrong one. That's the last thing. Okay, so now we're ready for demo. All right. I'll pull my, oh no, now we're ready for, I haven't even called our circle yet, have I? So why don't we just, I'm going to put some music on. I'll put that music on that we had before. Okay. So let's just move into the present moment with a breath. And is that sound still okay? It's not too loud? And if you're holding on to any outside worries or concerns or tensions in the body, feel free to move your body in any way you need to take some deep breaths. And on your exhales, just leave that all at the door. And just notice how the breath goes in and out. And then from there, notice how you're sitting in your chair. Feel your feet, your legs. Feel how the back of your legs and your sits bones, how they become one with the support of your seat. And then move up and pay attention to what's going on in the center of your body, your belly, your heart. That whole region where there's a lot of activity that we don't always pay attention to. And just see if you can bring a little more relaxation to the central operating system in your torso and your chest. Bringing breath and expansiveness to this region. Then move your attention to your neck. Your face. If there's any tension in your jaw or your forehead, just release that gently. Feel what's going on in the center of your brain. Your scalp. Then move your attention as though you're drawing a line from your brain to the center of your chest, to your heart center, connecting the head and the heart. And with a couple of breaths, just allow that connection to get stronger and stronger. And as it gets stronger, let that connection spill over into your shoulders, your arms, and your hands. And now become aware that there are others in this circle. With heads and hearts and energized hands. And we've all come together with openness, acceptance, and in a sense, a beginner's mind to share the experience of focus. So in your mind's eye, just greet the beings in the circle. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And with a deep breath, shake anything else out that you need to shake out. And we're all in this moving together. And I'm pulling out some notes here, so bear with me. Okay, so let me go ahead and demonstrate a little of, oh, there they are, the big cards. I like to work on these big 5x7 cards with one blank side and then one side with lines, because it just, I don't know, it gives me a place to put my notes. And if you keep an art journal or something like that, feel free to use it. Hopefully I don't. Initially, I thought of just using the paper here that I put down as a background, but hopefully I won't run over the paper. I'm going to take myself off of the camera so I can move over to off of this camera where my face is, so I can move over to the other one and be more comfortable. Okay, and you can start by just you can follow along for this first thing. I've got an ink pen here. It's just a black marker. You can use any color marker you want. And we're going to start this exercise by drawing a circle. Just a little circle. It could be in pinpoint. It could be any size you want. This is the point of focus for our exercise. So if you want to go ahead and do that, you can. And then I'm just going to tell you what we're going to do, and then I'll guide you through it as we do it. Okay, so basically we're just going to make lines, and I'll probably switch to a different color when I do that, when I actually start to do it on the paper. But we're just going to make lines toward the center of the page first, in any way that feels good. And then we'll probably at some point move out. We'll make different types of lines. And the point of this mark making around your center of focus is to just allow any awarenesses to come up about what focus means to you, or what focus is showing you in this moment, during this exercise. So if you're ready, I'm going to move over closer, and I apologize for the shadows here. Have to figure out how to fix that, but that's the perfection. That's my inner perfectionist talking. Hopefully you're not too focused on what I'm doing. and you're just doing your own thing. And also, I want to encourage you, if you find that your pen wants to go somewhere else or your pencil wants to go somewhere else, follow that and allow yourself to just be with the inspiration that's coming to you. So we've drawn our dot in the center, our point of focus, and then I pulled out a purple pen. And you can just start by drawing lines toward the center, just paying attention to how the pen or the pencil is moving on the paper and making any sounds. Is it feeling a certain way? How is it making its way over to your dot? And then notice as you're drawing these lines toward the center, are you drawing one and then drawing another across from it? Or are you going around the paper, drawing them side by side? Now I want to encourage you to begin to maybe change that up a little. Let's say you were going across the paper. Maybe change that up to go to make your lines side by side by side. Now you can make straight lines, or you can make wavy lines. You can put curly cues in your lines. And as you do that, you're just returning to the dot, to the point of focus in the center of your paper. Now, you can also go from your point of focus out to the edges. Feel free to change colors. Change, if you have different widths of pens, you can change the width. Remember to keep breathing and noticing what's going on as you return to your focus, or take your focus out to the edge of your paper. What are you feeling under your hand? In your body? In your thoughts? Your emotions? When you catch yourself maybe in that thought realm, like when you're hearing words, return to your breath and return to that dot in the center of your page. Keep breathing. just notice where your lines are taking you. Notice what your thoughts are saying to you. I'm just going to do this for 5 more minutes. You can also experiment with pace. Like, what does it feel like to go faster? You feel like you want to fill in some spaces. I'm just going to be quiet and let you have your process. Okay, we'll give it just a minute or so more. Maybe 2 minutes. So go ahead and begin to finish up. I could probably do this all day. It's more that I see that I want to focus upon. Right. So my inner critic, as I'm doing mine, is saying, it looks like chaos. It looks like chaos. Make it calm. So I'm going to tell my inner critic, it's okay to be incomplete. I'm going to turn the music off here. I'm going to unpin. Let's see, put myself back on and then unpin this one. Yeah, and I'll pin myself. There we go. Oh, how did you do there? Thumbs up if you're awesome. Awesome. Okay, so we're doing put my thing there. We did our mindful exercise, our mindful art exercise. And now I have a little bit of reflection that that I want to encourage you to do. And if you have one of these like I have, you can write on the back, or if you have a different a separate piece of paper or whatever, take a writing utensil. And well, first of all, before you do that, just take a moment to just sort of put just look at the overall big picture of your focus, of your exercise around exploring focus. And just notice like anything that's coming up for you, whether it be like self-criticism or admiration or emotion. And also, as we go into, I'm going to give you a journal prompt or an option of two journal prompts. You can choose what you like. As you go into some journaling, n- just make a mental note of what came up for you as you did this exercise. So the two prompts I have, and if you have something else, like if you just want to free write or whatever about what came up for you, feel free to do that. But if you're having trouble getting started, you could start with the prompt of "My focus is." That's one of the prompts, or "I return to focus by." And I want to encourage you. We'll do this for like, what's our time here? We're gonna try for 8 to 10 minutes. So, and if you run out of words, like if you run out of thoughts and run out of words, just keep writing. Like I want to encourage you to just stay in that flow and just keep writing. I have more to say, or I have more to write. I have more to say. I have more to write, over and over until the next thing comes. Do you want to have the music back on? Okay. So we'll do that for about 8 to 10 minutes. My focus is, or I return to my focus by. I just looked up. Begin to bring it to a close if you haven't already. All right. Okay. All right. So we reflected on focus. Um, Here's what I'm going to do, because since we're going to make this public, this is the point where we're going to share. However, since we are going to make it public, I'm going to stop the recording here and invite anyone who sees this in the future to check the links to how you can join us live, so you can get in on future ones where you can share. So let me just stop the recording, or I'm going to